Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
And away you go.
What's up?
What's up?
I'm Chris. This is Omar,
How's it?
and we're two people who love film probably a little bit more than what is considered healthy.
Me.
And we decided we wanted to just talk about it. So here we are. And why don't Omar, you tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are, and maybe give us your letterbox top four.
Like it. If I can fucking remember my letterbox top four, I'll literally have to look at it. I'm Omar. I'm an actor. Got a degree in theater arts at the University of Stellenbosch, and yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm very passionate about what I do, and if I can do acting for the rest of my life, yay me.
Cool. Letterbox top four.
Oh,
I know
fuck.
it. So you
Well,
have
okay,
to know
I
it.
think I know.
it.
Let me see if I can guess them. Do you know off the top of your head now what they are?
I think I know it. I think I know it.
I think it's Lawrence, Mommy, Parasite, and then I know what the fourth one was, but I know I replaced it. Oh, is Call Me by Your Name probably in there?
Yeah, I think it's like the second one actually, or
Then
first.
I think it's Mommy, Lawrence, Parasite, Call Me by Your Name.
Okay, who cares about the order? Those are your top four. Oops.
Great.
Um, so let me tell you
Well,
about myself.
yeah, tell us about yourself.
Um, I went to film school. I've got a degree in motion picture medium, whatever that means. More importantly than that, I just love movies. I watch them all the time. I write about them. I write them. Aspiring writer director. Recently worked on my first feature as a script supervisor. But yeah, I just love movies, so that's why we're here. And my letterbox top four: Punch Drunk Love, Mommy, Y Tu
Mommy.
Mama También, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So that's a little glimpse into my taste.
Fuck, I never finished rewatching Punch Drunk Love the other day when the power went out. I think I got like a
Yeah,
good 20 minutes in.
yeah, we watched it at one point
Yeah.
together, and you had not the
I'm
reaction I
like,
was
I
hoping
was
for,
just
but
like,
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it was very like, I just floated around with like not being exactly sure how I felt about it. But that has been like my history with many of his films, I feel.
And many of the films that I tend to enjoy have that feeling. But yeah, Punch
Which is
Drunk
many
Love,
of his films.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I that's my favorite director, Spielberg. So, but yeah, that's us. And we were planning on doing an intro for like 10 minutes, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's more than enough information, I would say.
exactly.
So we can kind of just jump straight into it. And I was thinking we can just do some recent watches if there's anything interesting you've seen in the last while, even if it's a TV show or a play or anything like that.
Well, this month has been fucking pretty busy, so I don't actually know if I watched all that much. Oh, I did watch Rob Zombie's The Munsters.
Why?
Audrey, my housemate, she is a very big fan of the like original fucking black and white series, The Munsters. I don't know
Yeah,
if you know a lot about it.
I know of it.
And I think last year or something I like quickly jumped into like an episode or two just to like check it out. And then I know she was very hyped for the film to come out, so we sat and watched it the other night. And it was fine.
I heard
Um,
it was shocking.
yeah, it was, but like fine being like a 2.5 or below on the letterbox rating.
Yeah, I know Rob Zombie makes a lot of movies, but I feel like all of his movies ride that line between people either hate them or they
Yeah.
love them.
Also,
Um,
well, the actor, I forgot his name now, but the actor who played, I think it's Herman Munster, like the
yeah.
Frankenstein-esque father figure dude. He was fucking brilliant. Like he was really
You
good.
know
I
what's funny
like
about that?
I was like hooked on that and like very like happy with that. Rob Zombie's wife, though, I forgot her name now, but she on the other end, I wasn't so on board with. But
What's
yeah,
funny about that is among the pantheon of people who have played Herman Munster, technically John C. Reilly is one of them, because for that little like second in Licorice Pizza, he's Herman Munster. Like you can just like hear his voice, and like the just camera just like quickly pans past
oh
him.
wait, I think you maybe told me about this because I don't like remember now.
Yeah,
But
he's like briefly in that playing Herman Munster. So technically, John C. Reilly is
as
as
is
good.
also
The actor from the Munsters is a good company.
nice. So I watched that, and
uh,
that's the only thing and I've started watching Dahmer, but that's about it.
Weirdly, I saw the ending of it last night
What?
because I'm not really interested in watching it, and my sister was like,
Ending of
finishing
what? Oh, Dahmer.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, what I was gonna say is
What you
I
recently
actually saw
watched?
a few things in the last while that I think is worth mentioning. One of the things was a small release from 2021 called On the Count of Three, which is a really cool like indie movie directed by Jerrod Carmichael, who also did a special recently called Rothaniel, which was really great, the comedy special. And this was
Oh wait,
great.
I
It's
think
about
you told me about that.
yeah, it's really good. But yeah, On the Count of Three, definitely recommend that one. It's about two friends who decide they want to go into a suicide pact with each other, but they're gonna live out their last day together before they do it. And it's I don't want to say much more than that. It's a really good movie. It's very interesting premise. Very
Oh
well
yeah, I
acted by
remember
Christopher
now.
Abbott and Gerard Carmichael.
Love
Really
Christopher
good
Abbott.
directorial debut by Gerard. So yeah, definitely recommend that one. Then I also watched Don't Worry, Darling, the one that a lot of people are talking about right now for a lot of the wrong reasons, I would say, because when you actually take a look at the movie, I don't think it's worth any of all this drama or any of this controversy. It's a super average movie. It's got like a very clear theme that it's trying to get across, and it just like doesn't do it in an interesting way at all. I know you haven't seen it, so I won't say much more about it.
Nope.
But yeah, the amount of drama surrounding this movie is not justified by the movie itself, I would say. And then the other
Um,
thing was Marcel the Shell, which was great. I really, really loved it. Really cute little movie, fun for the whole family. Um, really funny, really sweet, but also moving and poignant.
there
So
was like
yeah,
two shorts of that before the film, right?
yeah, it was like a YouTube um, phenomenon. It was one of those viral videos back in the early days
I
of YouTube.
I literally had like no idea like anything about it until I saw the trailer for the film.
Me neither. Me neither. I didn't know about. I know he was a character, but I saw the trailer for the movie and then watched the interview with Jenny Slate, who voices Marcel, and
Money,
then she
please.
was like, "Hey,
It is like the chick from Parks, right?
yes,
Mona Lisa.
yes,
What's her name?
money, please,
Money,
yes, yes."
please.
That's a yeah. Say she does an incredible job.
Yeah, I love her.
So I watched the interview with her, and then I found out it was this whole big thing. But I've never seen any of those. I just straight went into the movie, and
Yeah.
it works completely
I'll
well on its
probably
own.
like check that out within this week. I've been keen, so
It's really good. It's really worth. Out of all those stuff I just mentioned, definitely the best one. Um, and then there's another one that we're going to talk about later, which I won't talk about now because that will be part of the main discussion. But yeah, that's the only like new stuff I've seen recently. I also watched Children of Men again recently. I watched E.T. in IMAX, which, if you know me, is one of my favorite movies of all time.
wait, did we
Um,
talk about this? That you went to, I know you like were going to go and see it in IMAX, but I don't think we've actually spoken about the fact that you've gone and seen it in IMAX.
I don't know. I think I just kind of briefly mentioned it to a bunch of people, but no, I was in PA at the time at my friends.
That
So
must have been dope.
yeah, it was really cool because it's obviously it wasn't like shot in IMAX or anything like that, so it's not gonna give you that. But it's just cool seeing it on a big screen and the sound of an
Yeah.
IMAX theater. And it doesn't change that. It doesn't make it IMAX ratio all of a sudden.
Yeah, but I mean, just to go and see it in a cinema, period. Like,
yeah, it was great, and the score, that's like one of my favorite scores of all time, and with those big speakers and all that, it really gets.
I'm just thinking of like the whole like last bit of that film and how it all builds with that music and everything.
Incredible. That's one of the. I think you can learn almost anything you need to learn from filmmaking, or like not necessarily filmmaking, but action filmmaking, or not but sequence filmmaking from that sequence. You know, it's so well choreographed, and the music, and there's even a part where he's like pulling out the stuff out of the van for the government agents to like fall out, and the music like emulates like him pulling out the stuff. It's like as he like pulls it out. You can like hear the movie when you just listen to the soundtrack. So yeah, that's what I've seen recently. Other than that, nothing new. Like I watch a lot of movies, so if I go through my Letterboxd diary, like Dune is here, Dazed and Confused, Brigsby Bay, Get Out, you know. But that's nothing new other than the ones I just mentioned.
I literally couldn't think of anything else I watched besides, I guess, like kind of two of the films that we're still gonna touch on now.
Well, yeah, we can just get straight into that then. Because that's a big discussion. That's two, I think, very noteworthy films of this year.
Yeah.
I think both of them have a lot that you can talk about and discuss. So where do you want to start?
I don't know. Well, should we first say what those two films are?
Okay, so we're going to talk about Nope by Jordan Peele. Nice. And Bodies, which I'm blanking on the director's name right now. Just give me a moment. I literally
opened it 2 seconds ago. Halina, Reijn?
Is that a bad pronunciation?
Yeah, that's why I was unsure.
Let me check.
Reijn.
Yeah, Nope and Bodies. There's a Halina, Reijn.
I think Reijn, maybe.
But yeah, written by let me just check here. Written by Kristen Ropinian, Sarah Delap. Really sharp screenplay, a lot of good satire. Let's just start with Bodies. I think that is like the smaller one as well.
And it's short and
it's
maybe it's fresh.
I saw it a while back, like a week or two ago. But I like it the more I think about it.
Yeah, it is something that I've been like thinking about like this whole day so far. Well, ever since I woke up, I guess, which wasn't too long ago.
But yeah, I haven't heard your thoughts on it, so why don't you just go ahead and tell me what you thought?
Well, overall, like, digged it, really enjoyed it. I very much, like, from the trailer, I knew that they were going to go for that kind of, I guess, like, satirical, kind of Gen Z-esque commentary kind of thing, which I was keen for, because in the trailer, it looked like they were going to do that well, because I feel like something like that could very easily just, like, fall flat.
I thought that too, which was funny when I heard that a lot of people responded really badly to that trailer. A lot of people saw that trailer and was like, this is going to be garbage.
I think they maybe just didn't understand that what they were going for.
No, I think they did, because it was people that I know very well, and they were saying this is either going to be like genius or it's going to be dog shit, but I don't like the trailer. And I think one of the top reviews for it on Letterboxd is like, the trailer did this movie dirty or something like that.
I enjoyed the trailer.
Yeah, me too.
That's what got me hooked. But yeah,
no, good movie. Yeah, I was looking forward to it the whole time. I liked the trailer, and it came out, and everything that I kind of thought it was going to be from the trailer, it was.
Yeah.
Plus something that I won't give away here, like the way it ends, I thought was really cool and says a lot about what the movie is trying to say.
So that's the other thing we got to do, I guess. But
we can give our general thoughts, and we'll do spoilers afterwards.
Okay, cool. Well, then kind of talking around that topic, the kind of how things played out, I already thought about it like very early on. But the thing is, now I want to make reference to other films that is possibly going to give away what kind of the thing does. But
we can be spoilers if you want.
I mean, yeah, let's just go into it.
Okay, spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1.
Spoilers. Because I immediately, like, early on, initially I was like getting like very like I don't know if you know surely you know Among Us, the game.
I've never played it, but I know of it.
So like I got that because it's the whole like who done it and everyone trying to discuss with each other like how like kind of the thing, and this was like
I got one of the top
and...
reviews on Letterboxd as well as A24's Among Us.
Yeah. So this was basically like, for me it was like Among Us meets Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
So I've never seen.
Oh, fuck, great film. We'll get around to that. Where it's, well, the premise kind of Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's a comedy horror, but basically it's this bunch of kids on their way to like a cabin kind of a thing, and then these like two like hillbilly-esque like redneck kind of guys that the teens just immediately judge as, oh, those are the creepy men up in the woods kind of a thing. But anyway, these two guys are actually just chilling, like trying to fix up this cabin, and then all these teenagers are there, and all these like unfortunate things keep happening where they end up dying. Because they think they're trying to protect themselves from these two guys, and these two guys are just like seeing a bunch of teenagers around them committing suicide.
I
and
see
it just
why
doesn't
you're
paint a pretty
saying
picture.
that connect.
So
yeah, to address
Rose,
the elephant in the room, let's just say
yeah.
it. At the end of the day, there is no killer in this movie.
Yeah, it's just
all Davidson's character dies first, and he was literally recording a TikTok.
Yeah.
And slashed his own, which I think is so genius. It speaks so much to like that generation, the Gen Z thing, like that he was just out there doing this thing and fucking killed himself, and then all of a sudden they all jump to
snowball effect of that.
There's no. I think that's so clever that there's no like. They don't want to really. They jump to conclusions, you know. There's no, and that's such a thing of that generation. It's like immediately we find our friend dead. Someone killed him. It's someone in the house. We roll with that idea. We go with it. We don't question things.
Yeah,
and that was so clever.
Being like, I guess like the big premise of the film and what it delivers commentary on. I think like overall they did it really well. I didn't really feel that there were often times where I was like cringed and thought like, oh, okay, it's a bit like, yeah.
No, it is
like,
cringe, but like,
no, like, but like, because I said this movie could have either been great or like if they did that, if they had that formula wrong, like in trying to commentary on this shit, then it could have been like fucking cringe and terrible. But this was like done really well.
What I think is cool about it is they are commenting on Gen Z, but they're not being like, look how stupid these kids are.
Oh yeah, no, it's like it's done really well in that sense.
Yeah. And can I just say, Rachel Sennett is a superstar.
I was literally waiting to fucking get to the point where I could talk about her because yes, she's fucking amazing.
She's so good in Shiver Baby as well. If you haven't seen that, I can't remember.
She was definitely like the highlight of this film for me.
Her performance I also just like the character.
Yeah,
she's like,
she is like the most
like the kind of character who would be the most like toxic of all of them, but she's kind of not. Like she's kind of just like innocent.
Yeah. Oh, and then also this the B, which her name is Maria Bakalova.
Oh yeah, she's a breakout. You know, she was in the new Borat.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but like that was also like a very interesting character. Also, I think like from an actor's perspective, because she like didn't have a lot to say, but she basically like characterized herself a lot through just like fucking body language and reactions. And I was constantly like trying to figure her out, which I thought was really fucking great.
Yes, I suspected her for most of the movie. I was like, because I didn't think it was no one. I wasn't smart enough to come up with that.
Yeah, that's what my thing was earlier. I don't know. Early on, I just thought this was like some Tuck and Dale kind of shit, and then I was
just like, okay, one of these people is a killer, and I always didn't think it was the older guy. That was too obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like she could fit it, either her or the girlfriend. Like one of those two. I was like, it's one of them. But at the end of the day, it being no one is the much cleverer choice in light of what the film is trying to do.
Yeah. It just
Because it would defeat the purpose if it was one of them. Because that would like be pointing a finger. That would be saying, look at what these kids are doing, but they're not doing anything, you know.
Yeah. Dig it. Good shit. Would recommend.
Good performances across the board as well. Like even excluding those two, I thought they all believably played their characters. Haven't seen Lee Pace in a while, so that was cool. And I also thought his character was quite funny.
Who?
The older guy.
Oh yeah, I was like the whole time. I'm trying to figure out like why I keep recognizing him.
He's in a bunch of stuff. He was in The Fall, which is like a big, like I had to write an essay on that in film school.
He was in Guardians.
He was.
He was. He was in The Hobbit and Twilight and okay. No, yeah, I've generally seen his face around.
Yeah, I like that character. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, just overall good movie. I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd.
I didn't log it yet, but I'll probably also at this point in time go for 3.5. But also keen to watch it again.
I think it could go up if I watch it again, especially knowing how it plays out and seeing how that influences other things. So yeah, good movie. Want to check it out? It's a good one to watch with friends.
Yeah. On to the next.
Well, that's it for Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. The next one for me so far is the biggest film of the year. It's my favorite film of the year so far. I've watched it 4 or 5 times since it came out.
Jesus, I thought you were on 3.
No, I watched it again a few nights ago with my parents. Jordan Peele's Nope, everybody. What a movie. My favorite Jordan Peele movie, might I say.
I will very much agree with you on that. Also, my favorite Jordan Peele movie. I've seen it twice.
What I love about it is it's really conceptual and like has all those deeper meanings if you want to like dig in, but you can also watch it as just a blockbuster, like a popcorn movie if you want. That's why I was like, I can show this movie to my parents because it's quite like, I think it's really deep and profound and it has a lot to say. But you can also just be like, UFO movie.
Yeah.
You know?
I think probably in like out of like Us definitely does not fall into that bracket. Us like kind of, tries like different kind of things.
It's my least favorite film.
Yeah, and it like still like love Us, but also yes.
It's okay. I think it's okay. I've seen that one as well a few times, and I like it less every time I watch it. I can't explain quite why. But every time I see it, I'm a bit more bored every time I see it. I know it doesn't hold up as well to like rewatching. And like there are those little things to pick up on, just like all these other movies, but they just feel a bit more empty in that film to me. They probably aren't. It's just I think it's very American, and I don't relate to a lot.
Oh yeah, no, but that is very, very American.
Yeah, and but with Nope, it is very American as well. It's the great American UFO movie, like that's a very American thing. But it's done in this way where it's contextualizing it in a very strong thematic message, I think. A lot of people, are we doing spoilers for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just talk about films.
1, 2, 3. So Gordy, the monkey, the ape.
Yeah.
That for me is like the key to the entire film. That like contextualizes everything. And I saw a lot of people watching this and going like, that movie was cool, but like what was the deal with the ape? They could have just cut all that out. Not like that is what gives the movie meaning. Like and I especially appreciate that they didn't put any of that in the marketing, because I went into this movie thinking, cool, I'm going to see a big ass UFO movie.
Yeah.
And the first shot of the movie, this bloody monkey enters frame, or this bloody ape. And I'm just like, what is he doing? What is he trying to say? What's going on? So I was just like hooked immediately. And that whole idea of the ape going crazy on set just stuck with me in a very visceral way. I was thinking about it for like days afterwards. Was trying to see if I could find that clip on YouTube just to watch that scene. There was something about it that just felt so visceral, and the way it's like all framed from Jupe's point of view, like that whole where you actually see what happened. The whole shot, it's just from under the table, and it's just like panning around. You just see what he sees. I think it's really well done. I think the thing I've been saying about Nope is that if I were to explain what it's about in one sentence, it's about the things we can't look away from, but we shouldn't be looking at them in the first place. And that's contextualized with Gordy, with the fact that so many people are obsessed with this event, but it's such a horrible event. And then that's echoed with them trying to capture this UFO. It's horrible things are happening, but they just want to profit off of it. And the same thing with Jupe in the future. He survived this horrible encounter, and he thought he was blessed. He thought, oh, I have the power to corral these things, and that's why years later he's like, I survived the ape, so let me not train, but use this creature, and I'm special, you know. I can do that because I survived this previous encounter. I think all of that has to do with, like, you know, we're living in a world where people are looking at videos of people's heads being chopped off online, and like that shit we shouldn't be seeing, but it's at the same time, it's like you can't look away from it. And I think the movie is a metaphor for that. And at the same time, it's just such an exciting movie. There's sequences in it that is like just pure movie magic. That whole last sequence where they try and capture the alien, and Daniel Kaluuya does the run, and the thing like turns to the side.
Dude, that was the one scene when I was watching it, because you and I had spoken about that you saw it in IMAX and like the scale of it, and we had like a whole discussion about it. When that, I mean, there are more scenes, but that scene specifically, when that scene happened, I was literally sitting there going like, holy shit, I wish I could see this in IMAX. Like,
it was amazing.
I could see the way that was done. I was like, I can see like how they would have wanted to showcase the scale of like.
The thing about IMAX is a lot of times I could give a shit if a movie was shot on IMAX. So many movies do that to put it on the poster and put it in the IMAX theater, but they don't really use it. From the first frame of Nope, you're like, oh, they are shooting on IMAX. Like, you just feel it. There's something about how they frame the images and about how the sequences are choreographed, and specifically the framing. As you know, there's a lot of things happening in the sky, and the way they frame Daniel Kaluuya, like in the bottom of the frame, well, most of the sky is visible. And there's that one incredible sequence where he goes and looks for Lucky, the horse, and it's right after all of the Jupe and all of them have been eaten. And he goes back there, and there's this one take that just like, it feels like the camera is like tied to Daniel Kaluuya, but at the same time, up at the sky the whole time. And in the theater, the way they did that, it's like he's just like tiny in the bottom of the frame, so it's got this like.
But even though there are more scenes like that in the film where it also has that feeling.
Yeah, it feels like it's like tied to him and like kind of rotating around.
It was like, I remember the first time I watched, I was like, I don't know what's going on. It was kind of like almost fucking with my eyes, but I was like, this, like, it felt very fucking cool. Like, it really created like a mood, those shots.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Gordy scene. When you look at that scene, it's also this kind of moving, and there's a pan over to the sitcom dad coming in that looks almost exactly like the pan to when they like catch a glimpse of the alien. And the same thing that he's looking at a cloth. He's looking at Gordy through a cloth. And then way at the end of the movie, when they destroy the alien, or right before they destroy the alien, you can see its mouth like wafting across the screen, and it looks just like the tablecloth. And I'm like, that's got to be intentional. Like, it has to be.
Yo, that like that whole the transformation and everything that happens, and that basically it looks like pieces of lint. What that like when it makes those noises and everything.
The first time I watched the movie, the whole transformation thing didn't sit with me well. Because I loved the concept of what it was already, and that it was this alien, this animal in the sky just like moving around.
Yeah.
And then it started transforming, and I was like, I'm still on board with the movie, but I would have liked it to just stay the way it was. But the more I've seen it, the more I've embraced it.
No, I was so hooked on that, like the first time it happened, and then when I watched it again, I don't know, because I just like this idea of it's just so. Because like if I'm gonna imagine something alien, then I wanted to literally be something that my brain wouldn't even have been able to like fathom. And
yeah, but the concept of it being an animal and not a ship.
Yeah, that already was like that. Like when that also got revealed, I was like, "Fuck yeah, okay!" Like I'm so in. I'm so ready.
And it also that's another thing that ties thematically so well with the rest of the film. It's like Daniel Kaluuya is an animal wrangler. This is why he knows how to treat this creature, how to interact with this creature. It goes back to Gordy. It goes back to the Haywood horses. You know, it's all of that. So it's an incredibly detailed story with so many little things that you can't take out without taking out some meaning.
Yeah.
You know, like even if the film will still work, you're not taking nothing away. It all adds a little bit to the grand scope of the story, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jordan Peele, man, we don't deserve the guy. He's really great. That's the other thing about this movie is having seen E.T. recently, again, as we were saying, in theater, and a lot of people are saying this movie has a very Spielberg vibe to it. It has that sense of awe, that in this case, literal sense of people looking up in wonder. You know, it's got that feeling. Some people are saying it's like Jaws, but for the sky instead of for the ocean.
Nice.
So yeah, I totally believe that, and I think he was influenced by things like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is a Spielberg movie, and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
that dude,
and he was trying to
that whole scene with the house and fucking this, like the blood and shit coming, like
that felt very The Shining kind of when they filmed the stairs and it's just the blood.
Yeah, the blood dripping down. That was cool.
But I definitely think it has this sense of blockbuster wonder Spielbergness, but without losing the Jordan Peele edge. Without it losing its depth. Not that
it still feels very Jordan Peele the way he does films, where like there's always something like kind of deeper to think about, and not everything is always as it seems, and like that whole feeling like is definitely there.
And also on a completely different point, Keke Palmer. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, yo, what a
performance!
What a performance! I love her.
So good, and Daniel Kaluuya as well, obviously. But I've always loved Daniel Kaluuya and anything he does. Keke Palmer, I've known about her like my whole life. I've always seen her around and things, but this is the first time I was like, oh shit, Keke Palmer. And also Jupe, Stephen Yeun.
Oh yeah, fucking,
he's so good. And that one shot where right after we see the Gordy incident, and it just cuts to him like panning out, and he's just like in a trance until his wife comes and wakes him up. He's like in that moment. It's really good.
I mean,
and
I also
enjoyed
this Brandon dude who played Angel.
Oh yeah, he was great.
I didn't know him. Like thoroughly enjoyed. It was like cool character, great performance.
I liked this character from the beginning. It felt like I've met this guy. The guy who's like, I just broke up with my girlfriend. Here's a picture of her. Look out for her. She's got like, I was like, you know that guy who's like, he's not already showing everyone pictures of pics. That ended up being a very small part of his character, but still, it immediately set the tone for me of like, I know this kind of guy. Movie's also funny. There's a few really funny parts. when they're screaming at each other like from across the
Yeah.
across the field, and then that guy Angel is like, okay, thanks for coming. And
Yeah,
he's like, you
that was
don't live
like,
here.
you don't live here.
And that's also a thing that kind of guy would do.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say about it is the most interesting thing to me always is, and I love this. This is very different film, but I love this about something like the Scream franchise. I love it when something can comment on a thing while still being the thing.
Yeah.
So I think this movie is commenting on the idea of spectacle while being a giant spectacle. You know, it's a giant blockbuster, and it's also talking about these giant things. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I thought that was
I
really
was
cool.
also initially like, so like not caught off guard, but when the like fucking TMZ fucking little dude on his bike gets there, like the initial tone of that when that part starts, I was like, oh, what is this going to be something more? Then it kind of just isn't. It's just this like fucking silly thing. And
Yeah,
then
then the
just,
guy's like,
just
take a picture,
and then
take a
also
picture.
just the way he like drives away. They're like, so what happens to like a bike
And
when
he's
the
like,
magnet pulls the other way? And but also the way that there wasn't even like a sound effect. It was just like so minuscule, just like they
no,
didn't
you
like
could
make
hear
it.
him go like, ah!
Yeah, I love that.
And then Angel's like, there's no way that guy's alive.
Yeah.
Our friend Rian made a really good point about that character. He said that character feels like he could be in a GTA game. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
totally.
yes.
Yeah.
He's like,
Definitely.
that character is satire. Like that character is satire of paparazzi and things like that. And people who just want to capture everything instead of seeing it for themselves. Yeah, great movie. I really loved it. Nothing much else I want to say about it. I don't know about you,
No.
but
Also,
it
no, nothing more to say. I also just enjoyed the bit, forgotten now, but the director who came to get the impossible shot.
I
Like,
love that. I laughed
yeah.
so loud when he was like, the light,
Yeah.
magic soon. I was like, yes! Like, that is exactly what a DOP would do in that situation.
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
no, I
I
fucking
loved
loved
it.
it.
I thought it was so good. And
Glad
other
you.
people have noted that moment as being stupid, like what he's like literally ruining the whole thing for his own. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
that's the point. Like
Yeah.
that's what he's doing.
That's
And
kind of
he
like
earlier
it just delivers more commentary on what's already kind of been set up throughout the film.
exactly, and earlier in the movie, they're trying to call him and convince him to come film this thing, and he says to her, "This dream where you end up on the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
all eyes on you. It's the dream you never wake up from." And then he literally goes up a
It
mountain and
doesn't
does
wake
that.
up from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope shit.
So yeah, it's great.
Like it.
It's my
Good shit.
favorite movie of the year. Um, we're gonna talk about some upcoming releases. I think there's a few in here that might top it,
All
but
right.
so far it's my favorite film of the year. Yeah, I was just saying that that's my favorite. Nope, this is my favorite film of the year so far. But recently, very in the last while, a lot of trailers and a lot of stuff has started to be announced that I'm getting really excited for. So might have a chance of topping Nope off the list. But let's talk about some of those. Um, I sent you a message with some of the ones I wanted to talk about, but there's a few others I'm thinking about now. But let's just start with Babylon, which is Damien Chazelle's latest. And we just find, which I've been looking forward to for a long time. They've announced this
Same.
like 2 years ago or something. And we finally got a trailer. And shortly before we got the trailer, there was like a press release that said something about like Damien Chazelle's Babylon will put Wolf of Wall Street to shame. It's got like a 20-minute opening Fellini-esque sequence of debauchery. And I was like, okay, what is this movie going to be? And then the trailer came out, and I was like, oh, I see what they're saying. This looks fucking
It
crazy.
looks fucking crazy.
And that's not something I expect from Damien Chazelle. I think I mean, I guess you could say Whiplash is quite edgy, but most of his films feel very clean, soft to me. Like La La Land is a very soft movie. It's very romantic and airy and dreamy. First Man even has like a kind of dreamy quality to it sometimes, and it's very soft spoken and slow paced, and That's basically a movie about a guy who had to go all the way to the moon to have a good cry. So like to see to see him going to this place of like, oh shit's like fucked up is like I'm very excited. And the cast, Tobey Maguire's in there. I'm really excited for that. Brad Pitt looks great. Like
Yeah.
his character looks great. That part where he like tap dances and falls over.
And falls over the thing, yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. And yeah, you know me, you know I love Damien Chazelle. I love everything he's done. A lot of people call him the modern day Spielberg, which I get. But this doesn't look like something Spielberg would make. So I'm really excited. Do you have anything to say about Babylon?
uh the cat scratching somewhere. Oh no. No, not really. Just super keen for it. Also because you told me about the release thing. And then when I saw the trailer, I also was like, oh, and I was like,
There's an elephant at one point. Like, what is
no,
that?
and like
I
the
want to
cast
see.
and everyone seems fucking great. So I mean, I also very much enjoyed Damien Chazelle, so very keen
I
to see what
also,
it's going to be about.
which this is, I also always, well, not always, but mostly really love movies about movies. And this is a
Yeah,
movie about movies. And that's a perfect segue into the
for
next.
the Fabelman.
Yes, this. Okay, so a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Spielberg. I love the guy. He's made some stinkers now and then, but I think if you know anything about filmmaking, and you say Spielberg is a bad filmmaker, then
You don't know.
you're not going like
Yeah,
he is a naturally gifted filmmaker. He understands cinema language like not a lot of people do. There's these great stories about him just walking into a room and being like, we're going to shoot it from there on a 35 and then we're going to move to a dolly here and put it on a 65. And, he just knows exactly how things mesh and
yeah.
how the language of cinema cogs with each other and meshes. And for me, him making a movie about movies and about his discovery of the love of movies, that's an easy sell. Like I'm there. As soon as I heard he was doing that, I was excited. As soon as I heard Seth Rogen was going to be in it, I was even more excited. Then we heard that David Lynch has a cameo in there somewhere, which we still don't know anything about. But then the trailer came out, and I was like, yeah, this looks like that Spielberg magic. A lot of people hate how overly sentimental his films are. That's what I love about him. We were talking about E.T. E.T. is such a sentimental movie. If you don't cry at the end of that movie, do you even have a heart? So
Yo, I
I'm
remember. The
looking for
first
that.
time I watched ET was with you. I mean,
Oh,
you had already seen it, but I watched it with you
yeah,
for the first time, and I was bawling. And
yeah.
then I started
I
laughing
remember.
because I was crying. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, I remember. That's the two best reactions I've ever gotten from showing someone a movie have both been from you, and the one was E.T. and the other one was
Mommy,
Mommy.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Both those films like will have like a very special moment in my life now.
also, Brixby Bear is another one that I really appreciated your reaction because I wasn't sure if you would actually click with that one, which is another movie about movies. But yeah, I'm looking for that from this movie. The thing that a lot of people complain about Spielberg, that's what I want from this movie. I want it to be overly sentimental and sweet, and I'm looking for that Spielberg quality from this because it's the movie. What I've been saying is he's had so much divorce or like themes of divorce and separation in his movies that it feels like he's made this movie 30 times before, but now he's making the real version of it for the first time. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. I mean, I literally watched the trailer like 2 hours ago. Um, but yeah, it looks cool. So,
It looks really cheesy, but that's what I want. Like I love that cheese that he makes things cheesy, but not in a way that it feels real. It feels
no, like this
yeah.
is like it looks like very kind of beautiful and honest and sincere
Yeah,
and
sincere,
everything. Yeah.
honest,
No,
yeah.
that sounds like when I sound maybe unenthusiastic, it's not because I'm unenthusiastic. I'm just I have a different Steven Spielberg love, I guess, as opposed to you. Not that I don't love him at all. I'm just like, he's a good filmmaker. I enjoy his films. But I understand
Yeah,
why you're like super keen because
yeah, I think for me it goes way past that. I think
yeah.
he's one of the masters. Like if you think you can't learn anything from Spielberg, then get out. That's so yeah, that's one of them. The other one, Bones and All, baby.
Timothée Chalamet.
Timmy,
Oh, Timmy.
Guadagnino, a reunion we've all been wanting.
Yeah, I am
They're doing
very, very excited
cannibal
for
stuff,
this.
which is highly ironic.
Yeah.
Which
I am.
Guadagnino actually
I
commented on
saw, yeah,
recently.
and he's like, don't be idiots. Like, it's just
Yeah,
stupid. There's no relation to this.
yeah. I think his impotence was wanting to make a middle America thing. He
Yeah.
wants to like these people in America, kind of like Sean Baker, but in a more fucked up way. Like Sean Baker is a bit more like
But yeah,
gentle.
I am.
You saw the Florida Project. I know you didn't like the ending.
Yeah, I don't like knitting. But yeah, I'm super, super excited for this. Probably I would guess one of my most like anticipated, looking forward to. Well, is it releasing this year?
I think
So,
it's releasing this year. It's been just started to play in festivals. I think a very small handful of people have seen it.
yeah, probably the one I'm looking most forward to. I'm sure there's something else that maybe I'm looking forward to more that I'm just not thinking about now. But
Did you ever see Waves?
yeah,
The
did I watch
girl
it on
in
my
that,
own?
I'm not sure.
But
But
yeah,
she's in this.
yeah,
The girl with the younger sister in that, and
yeah.
she was incredible in Waves.
She
Like
was
she
incredible.
carries the whole second half of that film. So I'm really excited. That's the only thing I've ever seen her in. So I'm really excited to see her doing something. And Michael Stuhlbarg also returns for this. Timmy's dad in Call Me By Your
Yeah, I saw him there in like one quick scene.
Yeah, he looks like a hobo or something.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like a nomad or
Like
a
a
hobo or what, but
hillbilly. He looks like a
yeah,
hillbilly.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm keen for that. So a few reunions coming up on this one. The other one that I didn't mention to you before we started recording, but I want to talk about is Knives Out too.
Oh wait, did the trailer drop for that?
Yeah, it
I
looks really good.
literally have not watched the trailer.
Well, are you excited for even the idea of a new Knives Out movie?
Oh yeah, I've very much enjoyed the first
It's
one. I think it was
complete.
really well
No
done.
one returns except Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like it's what I forget the director's name now, actor director who's doing all the murder on the
oh
whatever's.
yeah, Kenneth
Knives
Branagh.
Out is like that, but done
But good.
well.
Yeah. Kenneth Branagh. He also made a movie recently which won Best Screenplay, I think,
Yeah, he
anyway,
did. Yeah, I saw he
Belfast.
did
I saw
something.
it.
Oh yeah.
Nah, boring, bland, like trying to be an art form, but there's nothing behind it. Like I don't know, I didn't like. It was like, oh, where I saw Roma. Let me do the Irish version of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Was it
so
a
yeah,
typical
didn't
Oscar
like it.
Beatty movie?
Yeah,
I
which
like when you
something
said
like
that black and white, I
Fabelmans.
remember now. Like, and also, but wasn't that also something to do with like it was supposed to be about his actual life?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, which is also Roma. So it's like
Yeah.
he literally saw Roma and it was like, I can do that. No, bruh, you're not Quaron. Sit down. Um, Speaking of Quaron, the Three Amigos, another thing I'm excited for is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Oh yeah, very excited for that. That's
Yeah,
also
that
coming
looks
out
good.
this year still, I think.
Yeah, on Netflix, I think.
Yeah.
And
Also
Knives
just
Out
saw,
also on Netflix.
yeah, also just was the first one Netflix? All
Nope.
right.
They basically
Also, yeah.
like Rian Johnson basically signed a contract with them to make like three more Knives Out.
Right. Also speaking of Guillermo, yes, I also saw the trailer for is he just producing it?
Oh, the Cabinet of
Yeah.
Curiosities. I'm not sure. I think he's producing that, and I think it'll be like
Because watching it,
different
yeah, it's gonna
directors.
be like different short stories, I think.
Kind of like that other thing he did, that stories he
That
told the dog.
yeah, I didn't watch that, but yeah, I think it's gonna be like
Me
that. So
neither.
I'm thinking he probably maybe like would get like maybe ideas and concepts or things that people pitch, and then he like chose a few, and then he's like, "We'll produce this thing," and here's a bunch of creative
He
stories,
produces a lot of
a lot
stuff.
of stuff.
So,
Yeah, I'm very keen for that. I saw the trailer and it
so
looked
does
interesting.
Quran. Oh, that's speaking of the Three Amigos. What great segues today. Iñárritu is also bringing out a new film. I sent you the trailer. I don't know if you watched it. It's called Bardo, or a handful of inconvenient truth.
I didn't even
Something
know
like
if I know Iñárritu is.
Iñárritu, man, he made Birdman and The Revenant
Oh no, you told me about this the other day.
and Amores Perros.
Because then you still said it's like a long name. Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, False Chronicles of a Handful of Truths. It looks crazy. It looks crazy in a way, in a much different way than like Babylon. It looks like someone's dream in a film form. Like it's very surreal. Looks like the whole film is like a dream sequence.
Nice.
Interesting trailer. I'm not sure what that film will be. We'll see. But Iñárritu, great filmmaker, so we'll watch anything he does.
Good shit.
Okay, well, other than that I don't know.
I was just trying to think
The
of
other thing I
new
did
release
want to
things.
mention, there's no trailer or anything for this, but they just announced like 2 days ago or something that after a lot of uncertainty, Robert Eggers will be making his Nosferatu movie. And one of the Skarsgårds, the guy who is Pennywise,
Oh yeah.
he's gonna play
I think I saw the article about
Nosferatu.
that.
Yeah, so that's cool because after the Northman was very unclear
I
if he's
still
gonna
haven't
get
watched.
to make. It's my least favorite Robert Eggers movie so far, but very impressive movie. But it didn't make the money it was supposed to. The movie cost like $90 million to make. So it was up in the air because he's been talking for years about making this Nosferatu movie, and it was like up in the air after the Northman if he's gonna get to do it or not. So that's cool.
I just realized something.
Mm.
I guess segueing into the end of this anyway. We haven't really spoken about this either, but basically what we're going to do with this podcasto is basically flip a coin at the end of each episode. Well, no, just now to see who's going to kick off the first one. Sorry. And then, yeah.
We'll do a coin flip at the end of each episode. Oh, wait, no, yeah.
Yeah, just to set off the first one. Basically going to flip a coin to see who gets to pick a film that then the both of us have to watch. And it can be either like a rewatch or whatever, but basically pick a film that we can discuss next week.
Basically, each week there will be, or each month, or however frequently we do this, there will be a main discussion for one film.
I didn't think about the film.
We'll do everything we just did. We'll do recent watches. We'll do upcoming things. We'll do news. But every time, every episode, there will be a main discussion on any film. It can be something from 1941. It can be something that just came out.
I just realized well, never mind a coin. I didn't even think about a film. Like, what if it is me? Then I was like, oh, I didn't have.
I've got one.
Does that just make it automatically that you're going to choose this week? Because I really can't think now. Wait, hold up. I feel like I did make a list. Let me just check quick.
It's up to you. I don't mind either way.
I don't know. Oh, I think I maybe saved it on my phone. I'm gonna check on my phone. Okay, if I don't find it on my phone, then you choose. If I find it on my phone, we flip a coin.
Mine's a good one.
Have you already seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
But you haven't.
Then I assume the moment you're going to tell me it's going to be one of those that we've spoken about many a time and I haven't seen yet.
We spoke about it recently. Right. And I was like, what? You haven't seen this? And then you were like, yeah, we spoke about this. I was like, oh. Now you probably know exactly what it is.
No, I'm fucking just trying to find my notes here. That's one
It's a
of my
very film school movie. Not film school, but like film nerd movie. Like everyone who loves movies loves this movie.
um
The suspense. And now I won't even get to pick. I mean, no one
oh
will know.
wait. Oh, there is one podcast movie list. Let's see, what did I put on here? I think it's actually stuff I
Say it
haven't
out
watched.
loud.
No, I'm not going to. Oh, well, it's actually just all films I haven't watched, so either way.
It's up to you, dude.
Fuck it, I'm not going to look for a coin now. It's your week. You can kick us off.
Okay, well then next time we'll be discussing No Country for Old Men
Oh, dope. Okay, sick.
by the
Keen.
Coen brothers.
Oh, we spoke about this.
Shot by Roger Deakins, starring Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, among others, Tommy Lee.
Just give me like a whole shot of the film, and then I don't even have to see it because I
Okay,
feel
the
like you
first
know it
shot
really.
of the movie.
Okay, sick. Okay.
Yeah, incredible film, very widely critically acclaimed. One Best Picture, one Best Director. That's a point of contention for me because it was the same year There Will Be Blood was up, and I prefer There Will Be Blood, but that's a conversation for another day.
All right, lekker. But yeah, then that's on the agenda for, I don't know. I was going to say next week. If
Next time.
Yeah, let's just say next time for now. Load shedding depending and life.
Yeah.
Okay, coolios. Lekker. Have a goodie. Peace out.